Being outside is good for us. It's that simple. And trails make it easy for us to walk, bike, and be active outside in our own backyards. On the trail, we see people moving, connecting with their communities, making the places where they live great. For 40 years, Rails to Trails Conservancy has led the way, creating trails across the country, making it safer and easier for everyone to get outside. They want you to get involved. Find your trail and start your journey today at railstotrails.org/iHeart and follow at Rails to Trails on social.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Woke by Accident podcast. It is a weekly chat about socially conscious topics impacting the culture. On this episode, we are joined by Sambaza, host and creator of the Sambaza podcast. Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Woke by Accident podcast, a weekly chat about socially conscious topics impacting the culture. Welcome to our co-host, Sambaza, host and creator of the Sambaza podcast, a remarkable figure in the podcasting world, hailing from the Republic of Kenya. In East Africa, he has garnered 3 nominations for Best African Diasporan Podcast by the APVA, and in addition, he has also been nominated by the Best Blog by the Texas Creator Awards. He also has been a featured presenter at the Afros and Audio Podcast Festival and a participant at the 2025 Podfest. Hey, Sambaza.
Hey, Jen, what's up? How you doing today?
Hey, pretty good. Welcome back. Good. How's the health journey going?
Journey going good. Lost some weight. Well, I had to cut some. Well, not cut, but I had to do a procedure, and that required me not having to eat. Therefore, hey, I lost like 2 pounds. Can you imagine 2 pounds worth of crap?
But you maintained a significant weight loss still, so you're on that health journey still, and good.
Yeah. Can you imagine 9 more pounds, and I'll be at 200, and I want to get up 200. I want to stay at under 200, and that's my goal this time, and stick to it. But before we jump up to most of the things that we're doing, I want to thank everyone who's coming on TikTok live, and then we have the podcast also going on Clubhouse. I have a guy who just joined in called Rich Moore on Clubhouse. I haven't heard from him in a long time. Rich Moore, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you soon. And yeah, other than that, everything is okay. So yeah, get ready for today. I'm expecting a very nice show. Yeah, and what do you have today?
Yes, and so shout out to our additional platforms and Sambaza for making arrangements to have our broadcast go out on the additional platforms, the Clubhouse audio space and TikTok. And we'll try to slide in some after show audio for you guys in addition. But so yeah, we have a great topic for you guys today. It will be just us. We want to continue conversations about health journey. I asked Sambaza about his health journey, and we want to continue that, specifically conversations about breaking the silence around taboo health topics. So today's theme is mind your business down there. And so with prostate cancer being a leading cancer that impacts Black men, we wanted to talk about that along with some health topics that impact Black women too in that lower area. So that will be our topic today, and we want to break the silence. Yes. So we said, mind your business down there for a reason.
Okay.
Down there. So with that, stay tuned and get into the conversation. And we're talking about men's prostate, women's fibroids, perimenopause, and what all this means for Black men and women, and how we can educate each other and live. So, that is kind of a pre-intro. Before we continue, how about an affirmation?
Affirmation of the day. Our affirmation says, I have all it takes to make my dreams a reality. So I say again, I have all it takes to make my dreams a reality.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. For you joining us, Sambaza is sharing a positive affirmation. We'd like to continue the practice of healthy, positive mental health behaviors. And so he shares an affirmation. And so we definitely received that on today. He also shares information in African proverbs from time to time. So what do you have for us today?
Oh, today I moved to the country of Mali. Now, Mali is home to legendary city of Timbuktu. You ever heard people say, "Oh, I'm so far like Timbuktu"? That's what they talk.
Right.
And it's home to the largest mud brick building. Can you imagine mud? They made it out of mud. And it has natural resources like salt, limestone, gold, uranium, and phosphates. That's kind of normal in that area, in that region. But the proverb of the day, it says, elders are wetlands where the wildfire stops. You want me to repeat that again? I'll do it. Elders are wetlands where wildfire stops.
Okay, I've never heard something like that. So share.
Okay. So we know about wildfires, right? Like in
Right.
California, if we talk about wildfires, what stops them? Wet areas. So wetlands
Okay.
are like wet areas, like marshes and stuff like that. So what they're saying is, elders are wetlands where wildfire stops. So Jen, I think when you are having conversations, you have these wild thoughts, like young people coming with these wild thoughts about doing stuff and wanting to do this and do that and do that. When it comes to when they meet the elders kind of calm them down and tell them, "Hey, look, chill. They know no hurry." Like the story of the bull, the young bull and the old bull.
Mhm.
You've heard that story. I'm not going to explain it.
Yes.
Sorry.
There's a movie that's
Now,
Yeah.
so it tells you that when you have all these things that come out of you, like I'm equating to young people. You have to go to your elders, and when you go to your elders, they kind of give you a sense of calmness, because at that point they will be able to tell you exactly what you need to know, because they have experienced a whole lot of things. So they're your calming nature of things. So that's kind of where I base my interpretation from.
Okay, that's what's
What
up.
about you?
No, I received that. I wasn't familiar with that one. So thank you for sharing that.
Oh,
So
okay.
we will introduce our topic. So we talk about everything, sports, politics, money, but when it comes to what's happening with our man parts and lady parts, there's often a lot of silence, right? So we want to break that silence and talk about minding your business down there. Okay. So, Black men are disproportionately impacted by prostate cancer, and fibroids and perimenopause impact Black women at higher rates with greater severity. So, that is our topic. We will kind of dive into this on a high level and talk about some really important statistics and give you some education so that we can hopefully save a life potentially, and be more diligent in taking care of our health.
All right. Yeah. But before we get on, Jen, I think we're gonna do a moment of silence because today's 911 remembrance. I think this is 24 years. Wow, it's been
Yes.
that long. I didn't imagine that. Yeah. So let's take a moment of silence. I think that shall suffice.
Yes,
Now,
thank you.
we also know that prostate cancer awareness is observed annually in September,
Mhm.
which is what we, us men, usually have to endure. And about prostate cancer, is one of the most common cancers in men, but hits Black men especially hard. About 1 in 6 men develop prostate cancer in their lifetime. Wow, 1 in 6. That is, yeah.
Yeah.
And Black men are 1.7 times more likely to be diagnosed and 2.1 times to die from prostate cancer than white men. Now, when caught early, survival is over 99%, while if found late, it can drop to around 30 to 40%.
Mhm.
And this is the reason why we keep telling men, kind of go for these checkups every year. I think there's no, people. I don't know. It's I don't know whether it's an ideology or what it is, but
Mhm.
a lot of campaigns have been done so far. But a lot of men usually have that problem when you go to your doctor, because this is, I don't know. I prefer a male doctor, and when we go to him, we
Mhm.
talk about it, and then when I get in, I tell him, hey, you know what, this is it, and he tells me, hey, this is the time when you're doing your monthly. Then he tells you drop your pants down. Then he starts touching your private areas, your manhood, and looks at them, tells you to make a cough. You just cough, and after that, you're done. I mean,
Mhm.
of all the times I've gone through it, you don't necessarily look at him. You kind of block things out, and you
Mhm.
realize that this is just a procedure that he has to do. So you'll just go and stand there, and he'll just test it, and then he'll test your areas, and then after that, and then that's about it, and you're done.
Well, salute and shout out to you for getting screened and sharing about how that was for you. So it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world, fellas. You really need to do this if you can catch it early. If it happens to impact you, it really makes a big difference. So I, salute you for sharing that you did get screened.
Yeah, I mean, to me, all that's his job, and all you're doing is you're just standing there. All he does is just look at it. What's the shame in it? He's seen many, and
Hmm.
you only the first one. Well, yeah, so might as well. And then, like they said, you catch it early, you have a 99% chance of getting around
That's
to not,
huge.
yeah. And when you look at it, if it's a 99% chance and you're catching it early, that's great. Rather than have
Hmm.
it, avoiding it, and then you're caught up to a lesser, like a 30 to a 40% chance. What's the shame?
Right.
You know, yeah, it's one of those things. You have to be aware and want to do it. And I think as of right now, a lot of conversations are going about prostate cancer that make a lot of people want to go and get themselves checked,
I hope
and
so.
start doing it early. I mean, even
Yeah.
with your doctor, they'll tell you when you start, and then they start checking on you. But some people, actually, you have to start when you're younger, in your early, let's say in your 20s. You probably would want to start there, because it's getting
Oh
young.
wow, that's very
Yeah, it's getting
young.
younger nowadays. Yeah,
Hmm.
nowadays it's getting to younger and younger people.
Hmm.
So get yourself comfortable and start having your doctor start checking it as young as you're 29, 30. Just say, have him take a look at it and make sure things are in order, because you never know.
Absolutely. You want to salute the chat in our various platforms.
Yeah, I want to say hello to everybody who's joining us right now on TikTok and on Clubhouse. And we have
Mhm.
a guest here, Ed Campbell, says peace and blessings, family. He's asking, what's the topic? Well, you got the topic right now. I see you even chimed in on it. We'll wait on that comment for a little bit as we talk along, because we got some conversations about it. Let's not forget that comment. We're going to go back to it. It's very important.
Yes.
So Jen, you had something about the prostate cancer being a silent killer and the stigmas. Go ahead.
Yes. And so we definitely want to bring this conversation, wake up this conversation about prostate cancer with the heavy impact to Black men in particular. And so I did some research on why there's a stigma around conversations about prostate cancer in our communities in particular. So the first reason that there is a stigma is because of the cultural silence around men's health. Many Black men grow up in environments where toughness and resilience are valued, and those conversations feel like weakness in some spaces. Okay. Um, Thoughts on that idea?
Yeah, I know that usually is one of the major things when it comes to people growing up in environments where you're supposed to look tough and resilient, and then you don't want to go say that you go to the doctor, and the doctor, looks at your male parts because of the factor of being looked at as gay, just because the doctor is looking at you. No, 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 no. This is not that. This is a
Right.
job. You have to take off that idea, that mentality of, yeah, yes, you're a tough man. You'll always be a tough man when you walk out. You you're actually a tough man for standing there and allowing him to look, kind of get that test done, because hey,
Mhm.
those results usually have an impact on your life and your the way
Absolutely.
you value things. So it's been tough to be able to stand there and have that test done. So I would say no, don't be scared. That's something that you want to do, go to,
Right.
and will save you a whole lot of lifetime worth of worries.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And that lends to the next reasons: taboo around, the private parts, being exposed with the doctor, what have you, medical distrust, um, fear of diagnosis. Some people say, well, what I don't know won't hurt me, but it actually can kill you. What you don't know can actually kill you. This is known as a silent killer of Black men. So it's very, crucial to, get the screening and take care of your health. Men, okay?
And
All
I
right.
think that the idea of the mistrust, like with the Tuskegee syphilis study that happened a long time ago,
Mhm.
I think that, and I may have said this sometime, that one of my in-laws talked about it, that when they were going to the hospital, they're told, hey, don't talk to that white man and tell him much about yourself, because of that fear. Remember, now they're talking about a white man. Nowadays we have black doctors. There's a lot of representation with the black doctors, and
Mhm.
therefore, if you're not comfortable with having a white doctor, go ahead and get yourself a black doctor who
Mhm.
looks like you, talks like you, or even speaks like you, and they'll understand where you're coming from. And one thing is that they're on your side and will be able to look after you, understanding where you're coming from. So that's one advantage that we have now than what our parents did not have. When you looked at doctors, can you imagine the 1960s? How many black doctors you'd have vis-a-vis white doctors? So now the proportion has gone further. However, it's not as much as you want to, but
Mhm.
yeah, you want to do it. I talked to a guy the other day who said his doctor lives an hour. Comparing to where I'm staying, it's about an hour and a half with traffic to get to his doctor, and he's a black doctor. And the guy said my doctor's even younger than me, but I'll still go to
Right.
an hour and a half, drive an hour and a half to see that doctor. It's only once a year. You probably
Right.
don't, or maybe 6 months. What's wrong with that? If you find him even 2 hours away, you drive. But you're going to be comfortable having this 2 hour drive. When you come back, you're like, okay, fine, he gave me information that I really need. And keep the doctor with you, because some of these doctors, you grow with them, they're able to see your history, and they tell you, hey, this is about that time when you now need to do your to check your prostate, or now this is about the time that we move on and start looking at your colonoscopy, have colonoscopy, especially like these cancers that we're talking about. Some of these cancers that we have are also related, and when we look at being African American, the
Mhm.
chance of us getting it are much more, especially colon cancer, um,
Yes.
that we're talking about. I'll hold off on that when we go to the next one. Lack of awareness and access. I think that is the most important thing. What would you say about that? Lack of access and awareness.
Yeah, absolutely. We've talked about there being, what is the with the food insecurity conversation, what are they called? Not droughts, but
Deserts.
deserts. Thank you.
Yes.
So, if there are food deserts
Uh-huh.
where you can get access to appropriate food that's not from the liquor store, but sometimes the liquor store is only, you probably can't just, assume that, or, you can imagine that it's probably hard to get access to proper health care. I mean, it's definitely a healthcare option. If you got to get on the bus or whatever, do the research and look into it. And with that doctor conversation that you were sharing, if you want a different doctor of a, different culture or what have you, use your voice on that too, because bedside manner is a real thing. And some doctors, no matter what color they are, do not have good bedside manner. Because I can tell you, I've had, African American woman doctor, and it's been bedside manner has been called to question. And, some other cultures too. I recently had to switch GYNs, and I have a woman doctor that's very young. Sometimes I try not to think like Fred Sanford, where, like, I don't know. You used to watch Sanford and Son,
Yeah, I
and
remember that for certain.
he actually, like, made a joke, kind of a, silly joke, that he preferred the white doctor than the black doctor. Like, the black doctor wouldn't be as, knowledgeable or smart or something like that, or a young doctor wouldn't be as knowledgeable or smart. So no, that's not, they'll be like Fred Sanford. But what I was going to say is that, so this lady is of like Middle Eastern Muslim faith, and, wears the head wrap and things like that. And definitely her culture, in the way that she gives me the information, is a part of it. Like, even like when she, touches, she's like, oh, I'm sorry. And you could tell, like, a normal doctor wouldn't be apologizing. And I've seen doctors, like, they like, look, you can't take that. And then that's another thing. They think black women can just take, whatever kind of force in, like, oh, you're, squealing at this, and aren't you used to pain? And, so that's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
Don't even get me started on that. But
yeah, you're right about the awareness and
Yeah.
access to healthcare. That's
Right.
one of the things that a lot of people are not aware of, what their opportunities are in healthcare. And then, as men, sometimes we want to, and me, growing up, you fall sick, that's when you go to the hospital. Instead
Right.
of going to be checked every other time. But before we get, Denise is on TikTok, and she said hello. She's
Oh.
been tapping that screen and sending us gifts.
Oh, nice.
Somebody else did that. Thank you so much for the gifts. Oh, Michelle is also there on TikTok. Welcome.
Oh, yay, Michelle.
So, yeah, when we talk about access, especially healthcare, free healthcare, we need to actually push that narrative of free healthcare or getting sources. Sometimes there's some non-profit organizations, even though right now we're being limited with the current government and what's going on. But that should not stop you from looking out for it. If you look for it, you'll find it. There's so many helpful places that can help you find healthcare, both for
Absolutely.
when you want to go test, especially, they'll have free seminars or free testing places there. They'll tell you, hey,
Yes.
come here, get tested for this. Come here, get tested for this. That's to encourage you to go there. And most of them target that particular demographic areas that they know people are less likely to go for care on
Right.
such big things like prostate cancer and colonoscopies, because we want to test the colon cancer. And these things are within us. We just have to look out and find someone who will champion it for us. So, like, what I say is, talk about it, tell a friend or two, and discuss it amongst your peers and make it be normal. Because once you talk about it, make it normal, they may have a conversation with other people and make it sound like as if it's a normal thing. Like going to have your prostate checked. Once you normalize it, it does not become an issue. You will just go
Absolutely.
yeah, like you and your boys will sit down and talk about it. Now
Yes.
we're going to talk about colonoscopies, right?
Mhm.
Now Ed Campbell here, we'll go back to his comment. He said, I went to get my colonoscopy, and there were approximately 10 to 15 people in the waiting room. I was the only black man shaking my damn head. We must get checked before it's too late. Now, Ed, thank you for talking about it. And Jen, as we were talking before we got in here, that's the reason why I could not come in yesterday. I was too groggy. I had to have a colonoscopy yesterday for my doctor. This was, for me, I'll be honest with you guys, I have to tell you this. I have to do it every 5 years. Normally, it's every 10-year period. But because of cancer in my family, we've had to go and do it every 5 years. So I have to go back every 5 years to do it. So this is my second one that I've done, and it's pretty simple. Let me just go out of the norm and talk about it. So you just go into the hospital. For all of you who want to know, just go into the hospital, and then they'll ask you the questions. Whatever you do, your copay. Well, you have to be taken by somebody. They'll not allow you to They'll not allow you to leave the hospital by DART or by Uber or a taxi. You have to have someone close to you or a person to pick you up, be a friend, whatever it is. So talk about the procedure. Just go into the hospital, just like you're going to whatever, go to the hospital, sit there, and the next thing so my experience was this. Went there, they asked me the questions, what you're doing, colonoscopy, asked all the various questions I need to ask you, like, a procedure. Got to where my doctor was. Here he is, he's there. Well, my doctor doesn't say much. He's just very quiet. So we had this quick conversation. Hey, how you doing? No. The anesthesia nurse was like, hey, look, I want you to move on your side. So I lay down on my side, my left side facing her like this. And then next thing she said, okay, I'm going to give you this anesthesia. And after this, you won't feel anything. 5 seconds. I just felt it in my hand coming in through, done, deal. Everything was done. When I finished, I was back when I woke up, actually, I was back at the recovery room, and there I was. So it's not a hard procedure. Nothing happened, but was fine. Yeah, there's no pain or anything like that. They used what they needed to do, and they found nothing. So whatever it is, it's just a quick procedure for you. Well, because you'll be asleep. And shout outs to Ed for you talking about it. And
absolutely.
We also had a conversation with this, and I hope that people who are listening in and who will listen to this recording, either audio or look at the video part, will be able to understand that this is just a normal process. I did it. I'm going to do it again. If it's what is going to save my life, hey, I'll do that plenty of time. Even if it comes, actually, sometimes they'll tell you to come back after 3 years as you get older sometimes. But what's that? It's nothing wrong with that. You just have to go in one time, finish up, and then go around your business. And that's part of it. Yeah. You'll feel groggy after that. But that's all it takes. So I think I'm done with my I'll tell guys, go have your colonoscopy done if you need to. It is very important and vital, especially when you turn 40. Most of the guys, I think, when you turn 40 or 50, but 40 is better. Just ask your doctor and he'll work it out for you.
Absolutely, especially if you have a medical family history, like you mentioned, and this is another illness that is prevalent in our community. So more than likely, you need to get screened. You're getting close to 40. You are 40. Put that on the calendar of what you need to do. Okay.
Actually, ask your doctor. Yeah, just ask your doctor. The doctor will tell you, okay, it's about the time. Yeah, and then nowadays they don't have to do most men are worrying about the testing of the colonoscopy, the finger in your butt or something like that. But they think that's an old thing. Nowadays they do blood testing. So when they do the blood, they're a bit more advanced. So you don't have to go through all that. There's a Cologuard that you can do the other testing, but the best case scenario is just go ahead and have that done surgically, where they just go ahead and look in and then find out what's there, and they tell you, okay, we're done.
Absolutely. So let's reframe this conversation for those maybe tapping in on the various platforms that we are doing this broadcast on. We talk about so many different things, but when it comes to our man parts and lady parts, there's often a lot of silence. So we're breaking that silence and having these conversations about prostate health, fibroids, and perimenopause. So we talked about the man parts a bit, and now it's time to get to our lady parts. I was trying to find a cool way to do but I couldn't find anything else better. So
you can say the word. We are adults. You can say the word.
I know, but I just was trying to find a clever way to say man parts and lady parts. But
penis and vagina, that's what you're saying.
But that doesn't have a ring, a ring to it. A clever way to say vagina. So anyway, back
lady parts in the dark, as you say, fibroids and perimenopause. All right, let's go.
Yes. So briefly, we will now talk about some lady part business, some lady business. All right. So fibroids are non-cancerous growths in or around the uterus that can cause heavy bleeding, pain, and fertility issues. They affect up to 80% of Black women by the age of 50 and much higher than other groups. So this is another thing that is impacting our community at higher rates than other communities. And perimenopause, what is that, you may say? What is that? So perimenopause is the transition before menopause. So it's perimenopause when hormone levels start to shift. It can last several years and bring symptoms like hot flashes, mood swings, irregular periods, sleep problems. So, this is where we are. Okay, Sambaza?
Yes, those premenopause. Yes. Now we're going to talk about fibroids. I'm going to talk about fibroids. Now, when you talk about fibroids, 2 out of 3 women are more likely to develop fibroids than white women. I think that's very common, and for me, I'll go into that. Now, symptoms are often severe or heavier bleeding, stronger pain, higher rates of surgery, like hysterectomy, which happened with women. That's one of the things that affects a lot of even African and African American women. Fibroids. There's another something else that usually comes off of that. I'll find that out later. Now, the causes are not fully understood, but research points to as genetics, hormones, vitamin D deficiency, and stress factors. Hey, I thought you get vitamin D from the sun.
You do, and so I'm glad you mentioned that, right? So, and
wait, Jen, wait a minute. You in St. Louis. How are you gonna get it when you're having sun? So why are we talking about vitamin D?
But okay, what do Black people do? Not be in the sun, not be in the sun. So this is why it's impacting us. We have to make up that vitamin D, and with vitamins, and then it's not the same. It's really not the same. So but it's another other side of that coin that our non-melanated friends do get a lot of sun, but the sun can harm them too. But don't get me started on.
They like to be outside. They don't like to be outside. Yeah, we outside.
Well,
outside.
But that's the thing, that vitamin D is hurting us. That lack of vitamin D is hurting us. So, we could use some more sun because it really is impacting, literally, it's impacting your reproductive organs. So that's a nice way to say vagina.
Fibroids, they impact fertility and overall quality of life.
Absolutely.
Yet often dismissed as normal period pain. But there's another thing. Is it fibroids? Fibroids also have something. This thing I keep forgetting.
Are you talking about the polyps?
No, not the polyps. The fibroids have something else. There's something else that they do. There's a disease that.
You're talking about PCOS.
Okay.
That's another one that impacts.
What are these acronyms? PCOS.
Huh?
What is PCOS? Hey.
Okay, so, and I'm gonna, be transparent and share. I, am impacted by fibroids and PCOS. PCOS stands for polycystic ovary syndrome. So, the fibroids are these non-cancerous. What are they? Growths. Okay, so you have these little cysts in that area too, and then that's the polycystic ovary. And there's these different, symptoms that you have, related to your cycle and hair growth and things like that. And, it really does a number on women, not just Black women, because actually you can go on TikTok and there's a whole PCOS community of ladies talking about how they deal with it and, how to overcome it and, things you can do and try. And, some people don't, remove their hair and they let it grow all the way, and they talk about it and share about it. So it's a whole thing, but it impacts us, right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Actually, we have a quick here. What's her name? Denise, with the Get Therapy and healing sessions. She says anemia is also one of the causes of symptoms of the fibroids in Black people.
Yes.
And she says, I don't want to get a hysterectomy yet, so I'm looking into other options. So yeah. Nowadays they have different options. So
I heard a video about like freezing them off.
Oh.
So I might bring that up to my doctor, but I mean, right now, as far as like what we're doing about mine, I did have to have a small surgical procedure
Mhm.
to, address some of the cells, but they were not cancerous. So, hallelujah on that. But basically we're going to monitor them and just keep a really close eye on it. And that's another reason why you just have to put these doctor's appointments on your calendar and get your checks and your screenings and go, follow up in 6 months and things like that, because it could be a different story. You know what I mean?
Completely. Yeah. Man, this is a hot topic.
Very serious stuff, but and it's not talked about a lot, right? So
Yeah. Then there's a perimenopause. Jen, I'm telling you that part.
Look, I'm not even claiming that yet. I really am not claiming that. I'm not claiming it. I'm not. It's coming though. It's coming for you.
I had to sit in a car in Africa. Not in Africa, in Kenya. This
You
past
know what? You with the Kenya and the Africa.
had people who were on that spectrum. Hey.
Not
All I
the
say is
spectrum.
I had to I had to do that because yeah, the hot flashes, night sweat, hey.
Excuse you? Excuse you.
I was suffering.
Not too much on the lady parts and the lady business.
Jen, I'll let it go.
Not too much.
Sure. So you said on average, the women enter perimenopause earlier, right?
Right.
Experience longer and intense symptoms as hot flashes, night sweats, or sleepiness. But it doesn't. Not everyone gets the same thing. That's why not everyone is built equal. So some people even don't even get those hot flashes.
Correct. Right. And they have supplements and things like that. I recently came across a company called Black Girl Vitamins. Come on with the brand deals. Come on with the So I ordered some. So we're gonna try them out, and I may document that and see how it goes.
Are you going to be doing it on TikTok or Instagram or which one?
I'm gonna try to do everything, right? I'm gonna try to do everything. But no, I saw what was it, Eddie Murphy's ex-wife, Nicole. I guess she still goes by Nick.
The Spice Girl?
No, he wasn't married to her. They just had a child together. His ex-wife, the one.
Oh, the first one.
Yeah, the mother of his the majority of his kids.
The one majority of his kids. The one who's going out with Michael Jordan's son. The one.
Yeah, her. So anyway, she was talking about Black Girl Vitamins, and I was like, oh wow, and she is to be gosh, she has to be in her 60s or close to 60, and she looked phenomenal. And anyway, she was just talking about the benefits, and they have a supplement that addresses PCOS. They have a supplement that addresses vitamin D, and they were talking about how even though you can get any old vitamin D supplement, it's different for Black women and women in our community, in our culture. So these are crafted in some type of way that is specific to us. So I'm excited about trying it. There was a whack commercial, but no, genuinely want to genuinely want to try it. So yeah.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Just give us the results and just do your thing. As we say, social media, use that social media, use those social media handles for Walk by Accident and Gen W, whichever one you're going to use. And then we can find out and, share the journey with you and kind of get back and tell us the results. Now, this thing that they say about the conversations about menopause are often absent in families and communities, leading to misunderstanding and the lack of support. I'm going to push back on that because I've been in instances with grown women and men in their 50s, in these Facebook pages and stuff like that. And they do talk about it. It's not something that's hidden. It's a conversation that goes there. And you'll see people post on Facebook, they'll be like, child, please, my whatever hot flashes are coming on, blah, blah, blah. And then you see a whole third of people talking about that. And it's not just African American women or African American men talking about their wives experiencing that. It also goes into the African culture. There are people who are talking about it in the African setting. So I don't know whether it's a disconnect with the parties that are getting this information, or they're not privy to us. Remember, like what you talk about Black Twitter.
Right.
If you're on Twitter, you're not gonna get whatever is on Black Twitter. So if you're gonna be in Black Twitter, you're gonna get whatever is there. And those conversations are not being heard on white Twitter. And I think they get the impression that it's not being talked about, yet it's always being there. It's in their face all over. That's a conversation we have when we get to our age. Or maybe when we're having these conversations, our younger kids don't get to hear those conversations about hot flashes because they're not of that age. Maybe they have their own conversations. But I think it's everything has a season in life with kids. So they're going to go let them experience their part. Right now, maybe they're in their 20s, they're talking about how we're going to party, how we're going to do this and this and that. You know, it's all about that. When they get to their 40s, that's when they start thinking about, oh, my daddy used to tell me about this and this and this. And then they move to that stage where they're talking about it. So it's not something that we're going to sit on the dinner table and talk about. The mom is going to say, oh, man, I'm having some hot flashes, or I'm having what? No, she's not going to say that in night sweat. No, those are not things that will come out there. I may have that conversation with my son when he's in his 30s, 40s, when he has his wife. I'm like, man, your mama here. Man, she be having that hot flashes. We be staying up all night, things like that. So it comes with the season. But we may have that conversation when he's married. I'll be like, man, you're having a problem right now. Wait till she gets to that age where she's premenopause. So the conversations are being had, but it's just that it's not reaching the people who are giving out this information. I think
we need to normalize it, right? Normalize it.
I think it's already normalized. It's just the spaces that whoever may say that these are absent in families. Maybe we cannot sit at the dinner table and talk about that, or in a family cookout, be like, oh my God, actually, it'll happen on our. I know it'll happen on our family cookout, because they'll be out there and they'll be sweating. They'll be like, "Oh, I'm sweating."
You know what?
That's when it happens. But other than that, the dinner table topic at your mama sitting there and you're like sweating, and you're like, "Oh, I'm having hot flashes." No,
well, there's a way to do it. Like, make sure y'all go to the doctor now. You know what I mean? Like, it's a way to say it without saying it. It's the thing. People always just gotta like put everything on the table and put it on the floor. But it's like your imagination is, higher than that, right?
I guess that's why the older women in church be having that fan. They be going all that.
What? Not too much. Not too much on the church ladies with the fans. Not too much.
They be passing it out here.
Oh my gosh.
They're like, praise the Lord. Oh.
Okay, so all right. The call to action, I think, has been established, right?
Right. I think, we need to go back and
I mean, for men business, lady business, normalize these conversations, encourage each other to go to the doctor. Hey, I changed doctors. If you're not happy with your doctor, change doctors. Normalize these conversations.
And Jen, wait, let's talk about your doctor. Culturally, you see the way now, I think this is the other thing. You said she's more like a Muslim doctor.
She is like traditional,
right? Traditional. You've tapped onto something. I think with your personality, right, and the person that you have, you all fit together. You don't want the bubbly one who's the doctor. This one fits well because of the culture. They have a set ways of doing things.
Yes, like she even keeps her assistant in the room, and most doctors, they don't.
They have to. Most of the 100% of the doctors, once you're gonna spread your legs or do something, you're gonna have to have somebody else.
I know. Back in the day, are you kidding me? I've
Oh yeah,
had.
back in the day, yeah. But nowadays,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
don't do
it's
that
more
that
normal.
yearly
Okay.
when you spread out like that on that table. Oh yeah, somebody else got to see
Really?
whatever's happening. Yeah, because
Okay.
people nowadays they go and say, "Oh, the doctor touched me in a strange way," especially the male
Okay.
doctor. But even if the female doctor, still,
Well, I almost would have rather for her to just be me and the doctor without this other lady in the room. But I
well,
mean, maybe that's just
they don't stand in front of you. They stand in the back, right? Like if the doctor's looking
she
at your
was looking. She was looking too. So I guess like
she
like
was training. Was she a
you know what?
trainee or a
No, so
nurse?
she was like past me. So she was close to her, so she could pass her. You
Oh,
know,
okay. The
whatever.
instruments.
Yeah. So, but I feel like she was looking too. I'm like, okay, you got to be all up in, you know, but
Well,
whatever.
hey, hey, hey.
But there was, extra care and concern if, like, the things is hard and metal, right? And it's like,
And you see the other thing people don't realize. We all have prejudice on people and look at people in a different manner. Sorry to go on this tangent. And when you look at that person and you look at them, most people have that stigma of what is going on around the world, but don't realize that these people are even more careful of how they deal with stuff like that.
well, and we all
Very,
experience pain differently too.
right,
Like
right.
what hurts me or a pinch to you may be fine, but a pinch to me or and a scrape may be like, ow, you know what I mean? Like, and that's pain.
Mhm,
So,
mhm. Yeah, but
yeah.
with that said, I think you've stumbled onto a great thing, and yeah, I'm happy for you with that doctor that you had, not the one that you previously had, and which is what I'm going to say. You've now become an ambassador of a stereotype. Yeah, you don't realize it, but you are actually an ambassador of something that when you go talk about the doctor and say, "Oh, my doctor is like this," people are like, "Wait a minute, what?" Then they're like,
You're
"Oh,
an ambassador for men's
oh,
procedures.
yeah, hey, like I said, get your colonoscopy done and get your whatever, your prostate check.
Prostate. There you
Yes,
go.
every year.
That's
It'll help you. Not well, colonoscopy every 10 years, depending on
right.
your doctor. But best thing is have that conversation with your doctor. So then, we're saying we normalize these conversations. Barbershop. That's where most of these conversations happen. Especially. Oh, by the way, that's been the campaign for most of the doctors. They usually go to the barbershops and talk about it. And I know in this African American community, that's what they do most of the talking. They go to the barbershops and then they talk about it, and the barbershops actually tell people about it. I remember, and I'm thinking I might bring a guy online, and he's going to talk. He probably is going to talk about the prostate cancer, and he does a video at the barbershop where the barber, where he's cutting his hair, actually does has that conversation with people because he deals with that. And then when people come in, he tells them, "Hey, have you gotten your prostate checked? Have you had your colonoscopy checked?" So as much as a black man come in to have their haircuts and what have you, that conversation is done at the barbershop. And these conversations usually, men like, and you have that, it's not like a taboo, but it's like a boys club where people can
Right.
talk about it freely and say, hey, I did it. Mine was this. I did it. This was what happened. So there has been a push to have those conversations start from there. And I
Yes.
think right now there's a lot of change happening, especially now when especially if the barber has more knowledge. I think what they do is they target the barber owner, and then they give them these options where they can go to the hospital and do this and this and that. And then when they have flyers and stuff happening, they throw them there. So these are important places where people get those conversations done. And like you
That's
said,
great.
normalize that conversation. I don't know about women normalizing the conversation about this other one, the premenopause and other stuff.
Right.
Where do you have these topics at the hairdresser, or it's a totally different conversation
Well,
there?
sometimes, yeah. I mean, really, in our culture or in our communities, our hairdresser is like a therapist or, someone that you can confide in and things like that. But I have, had these conversations with ladies in my exercise group and, things like that, and then you'll really be surprised at how many,
Oh,
women are going through the same thing.
sorority?
Yeah, I mean, sure. This different sister circle groups, friend groups, that you're comfortable in, comfortable spaces in sharing because it is, personal. That's why we, say men's business, ladies' business. But we need to, have these conversations and wake it up because, we're dying. People are really losing their lives. We got over that hump of COVID, which I've, actually heard a few cases of COVID popping back up. But I mean, we saw so many people in our community die from COVID, and so it's
Yeah.
just so many different things that are taking us out. Like, don't even get me started on the health things in our community.
And also, Denise is saying, I think we were talking about the barbers here at the barber shop. They're also
Mhm.
trained here to detect. That's in Florida area. They're
Mhm.
trained to detect mental health issues and refer them.
Hmm.
Because of I think there's a bias on mental health. So when somebody's having issues with mental health, they'll be like, "Hey, bro, you need to go check this out," and have this person look at you. And then they probably refer you to somebody who looks like you, speaks like you, walks like you, talks like you, and you have that comfortable conversation, not that awkward conversation that that you may not want to have
Right.
about your personal life and where you get help. And so thank you again for sharing that, Denise.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, we need
Okay.
we need to know, like, again, I think we need to stress that part, normalize. If we
Mhm.
talk about money and business, yeah, we
Mhm.
need to talk about this business.
Absolutely. Your life may depend on it for sure. So we definitely want to work that up and share the knowledge, spread the knowledge for sure. Any
Oh,
addition?
definitely. With that,
Okay.
oh, take us home. Today was a great topic. I think I enjoyed myself about what talking about it and everything that we talked about. Love these conversations because they matter to us. And like I say, Jen, if it impacts somebody and helps somebody here who listens to it or watches this video, hey, I'm all for it. So with that,
Absolutely.
home, take us
I
home.
agree. We will definitely be having more health journey conversations. We are literally in the middle of health journeys. So, and we're documenting them. And I am down on the weight loss. I don't know if you can see
Uh,
it in my neck,
yeah,
but I'm losing. So, more on that later. But we hope that you found today's conversations
I can't wait.
inspiring.
I can't wait to see you at Afro and audio. See how. Yeah, we
See how snatched. Look, we're gonna have to do a compare from last year when I was
Oh yeah.
struggling to get up the hill. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
I can't make it up the
And, this
hill.
time you're gonna be high. You're gonna be high. First of all, we're gonna be early to get into the whatever because we know that they're having that race every year.
Oh my god! Like,
Yeah, so we're gonna be there
I'm not
early.
walking up the hill. I'm not.
No, we're not walking up that hill. We're gonna be there early in the morning by 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. We're gonna have breakfast around there. We're not going
Look,
to.
we got free breakfast at the host hotel. So look,
Oh, so okay. So what I'll do is I'll
you
just
might
come down
have to.
and then park and hang out with you guys up there for breakfast. That's what I'll do.
Yeah, you need to pop in and get the
I'll pop in for
free.
breakfast. Yep, 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 yep. Yeah, yeah, yep.
Like, keep
Let's go.
this free
Anyway,
night.
Jen, let's yeah, we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna bring it up in a show and talk about this. This means that we're gonna have great conversation of the offers and audio when we go to it and after the aftermath and what have you. And all these conversations. Hopefully we'll bring everyone who was there and who can join us at that time and kind of have a family laugh. But it's next month. But before we get there, we have other things that are happening right now. So as we say today, take us home. I'm
Well, we thank you for joining us. We hope that you found today's conversations inspiring and enlightening. If you found today's episode meaningful, we ask that you consider sharing it with friends and family. Our collective awareness and advocacy play a crucial role in creating positive change, and we invite you to stay tuned for more engaging content, and we look forward to continuing these important conversations. So, with that, we thank you again, and everybody take care.
Bye.
at this time, we're going to go ahead and conclude the episode. We greatly appreciate you listening. We invite you to follow us on social media. On Instagram, it is Woke by Accident Podcast. On Twitter, it is Woke by. On Facebook, it is Woke by Accident Podcast. We also have the new website up, www.wokebyaccident.net. Please check us out. And also follow us on all of your favorite streaming platforms. And please leave a review and share feedback. You can also reach out by Gmail, wokebyaccident@gmail.com. And every time you listen, we appreciate it so much. Thank you for listening and take care.